Turn me up.
Just like that, we're back. Views from Section 400. I'm Matt. Jack and Brian along for the ride. Do we really need to introduce ourselves anymore? Probably not, but it sounds nice in the intro, right? Happy Super Bowl week. The big game is on Sunday. I know everybody's fired up about that. I'm pretty fired up to get some bets fired in there on the game. Live bets, same game parlays, prop bets. What other nonsense? Well, it's not a nonsense event, but what else can you bet on? Nonsense things, I should say. And that's exactly what we'll get this weekend. There's going to be a lot of money pouring in.
We'll get to some of the nonsense later in the show. We're going to be We're going to be taking a side on all of it.
We will. Because today we are covering everything around the world of sports. And like Brian just alluded to, we're ending with the prop bets. Legit and nonsense we will be hammering. This is the only time where you can bet on Gatorade colors, where you can bet on over-unders of national anthems, and all that good stuff. So stay tuned for the end of the show when we hand that stuff out. And let us know if you're down any of the picks in the comments below. We will have a full analysis on the big game Sunday or Saturday. We'll go over everything, release a pod strictly based on the Super Bowl. Maybe not strictly, but a lot of content, a lot of talk on the big game come this Saturday. That'll get released. Pre-game live show Sunday if you want to tune in and just kind of get some pre-analysis, lock in some bets with us, talk about some bets with us. We'll give some dialed up opinion on that. And our Super Bowl drinking game is live. So go check that out over on viewsfromsection400.com. Maybe a couple links in our bios on Instagram. I know we had that posted out all over our socials as well. But it's not for the weak-hearted, not for the weak-minded. I said this. You will be banged up by halftime if you come into this thing thinking, hey, I'm going to dominate this Views from Section 400 drinking game. This is nonsense. You're going to miss the end of the game, and I'll leave it at that. So look out. Go check out our drinking game. It is live, like I said, for the big game on Sunday. So check that out. Let us know if you guys follow along. If you have some funny videos of maybe somebody, I think one of them was kill your drink or shotgun a beer when you see Dak Prescott scrubbing his hair with the Head and Shoulder shampoo. Send us some videos because that'd be pretty funny. Maybe you get a repost on our social. I'll make sure that happens. But yeah, the Iron Bowl of basketball is going on right now. It's only in here because Brian fucking cares and Jack does too.
Big game.
So yeah, the Iron Bowl of college basketball, Auburn, Alabama. Now it's back at Auburn. Alabama already won the first game. Very quick turnaround. That was less than 2 weeks ago. And we're right in at Auburn playing the rematch. And Brian is slugging whiskey right now. So don't know if it's going too well for the Tigers down there. But we'll wait and see how that one plays out. Auburn should have the advantage at home. There is a new segment of the week. And a lot of it was fueled by Brian, so I will let him explain what we're going to get into next.
So for you Grammy fans out there, music fans, you may know Killer Mike's album, Michael, won Rap Album of the Year over Travis Scott, over Drake, over Metro Boomin. I broke that news to Jack, and he was perplexed. So as kind of Jack's emotion and everyone's emotion, we're going to have a segment called The Michael, and it's going to be what happened in the sports world that just had you perplexed and just had you thinking about, just what the hell. So I guess I'll start it off. So my Michael of the week is going to be the locations of the World Cup games. So it wasn't that bad, but for the East Coast, I don't like it. And I know the final is in MetLife Stadium. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea over Dallas. I guess it's
what
fine.
more do you want?
I mean, I
freaking finals on the East Coast.
I'd much rather have the final be in Dallas and the U.S. play their group stage games on the East Coast than we finally get a home World Cup where we're supposedly the time zones. We're not going to have to wake up at 5 a.m. or watch a game when it's still light out. And they're playing on the West Coast. So the time zones are still going to be fucked up. It's going to be like 7 o'clock in L.A. and it's going to be 4 o'clock on a work day during the group stage. Like, I don't understand. The NBA has done this too lately, where it's like West Coast catered. And I guess now that we're getting into like the millennial hippies where everyone's moving out there, it makes a little bit of sense. But like the East Coast is supposed to be, for as long as we've been alive, it's been this game's at 7, 6 Central Time. No mention of West Coast. That's just the timing. And now everywhere it's catering to the West Coast. So yeah, that perplexed me. I don't like the fact that the US is playing games. 2 in LA, 1 in Seattle in the group stage. But that's my Michael of the week.
I don't have much to say about that, Brian. World Cup, not a big soccer guy over here. I'll watch it if the US is doing well, but miss me with all that. What about you, Matt?
Yeah, based on Brian's point, so there was right. What he said was, and Brian, I'm not coming at you here at all, but you were ripping on the World Cup locations, and then went in to U.S. based on your opinion on that. So, are you already assuming the U.S. is not making the final
I don't care
on
if they
home
make
soil?
if they make the final, that's great. But I'd rather them have 3 games.
Well, it sounds
in the group
like you already
stage.
have them checked off as not making it based
well,
on your whole review.
That's not what I mean. I'm just saying, like, I wish the group was on the East Coast so I could go to a game that's already scheduled and not have to compete with these Argentina fans or Brazil fans and all these people that are going to buy this final tickets in advance. Like, let me go to the U.S., play Ghana in New York or Philly. Like, it's just.
I'm just messing with you, man. I do think do like, why can't you go? I guess it is a lot of traveling with time zones as well, but like one in Seattle, one in LA, one on the East Coast, or fuck Seattle and go to LA, one on the East Coast for the group stage. But the travel on that, you kind of have to pick.
Yeah, you have to pick
Yeah. Maybe you can go Chicago, Dallas, East Coast, and say screw the West Coast.
When I saw the LA home base, I was just like, LA is getting everything now. They're getting the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Vegas has the Super Bowl this year. Like, it's just stop.
Yeah, why did the Eagles just randomly get fucking Phoenix last year? Like, yeah, it's SoFi. Then I was like, all right, we'll go to fucking Phoenix, 20-year-old stadium. And then, all right, Vegas. Yeah, we'll throw you guys go play in there. Like, what was that all about? It's interesting, but I don't know. We could go on a tangent on that.
Phoenix brings some good Super Bowls. That's when the Giants won their first one. Last year's was pretty good.
Last year's was good. Eagles had every right to win. And fucking bullshit.
The Boise State Fiesta Bowl was in that stadium.
Was that in that stadium?
Yeah.
The Statue of Liberty?
Yep. Wow. The stadium has some good vibes.
It has some good memories, I guess. Not great for the Eagles. Pretty sure we lost an NFC Championship game that in there. It was like 07 with Jeff Garcia behind center.
Oh, goodness.
So we lost the NFC Championship game. Maybe it was 07 or 08. You'd have to check that. Check my timing on that. But yeah, big Jeff Garcia leading the team. McNabb goes down, leads them to the NFC Championship game, and maybe they lose by 3 or 7 to Arizona in the NFC Championship game. Maybe that was the year that the Cardinals lost to the Steelers in that Super Bowl. So maybe it was a year later. I'm not sure.
They had Kurt Warner that year. I think that was 2010.
Either way, Jeff Garcia, Eagles legend. Jack, what is your Michael of the week?
My Michael of the week is Mattress Mack and his furniture commercial. I'm sure you guys saw this. He opens up in his big puffer jacket, looking like a gangster, starts pouring some Sprite and Jolly Ranchers into a double cup of styrofoam. I mean, it's pretty on brand that I'm going to start it out, him looking like a rapper and this dude Michael winning the first official Michael award for our views from Section 400, also the Grammy. But yeah, Mattress Mack showing up. Not really sure what the point was. I mean, I understand that he's on social media and always dropping the big bets and sort of being an influencer at 80 years old. But yeah, I'm not really digging the gangster vibe with the Jolly Ranchers and the lean.
Mattress Mack was sipping lean. That's what you're telling me?
You didn't see the video?
I did not.
Brother, you got to check this out. Mattress Mack. The video, it's a commercial. It's a commercial, and it opens up him in a big puffer jacket, designer shades with like a hat on, and he just starts unrolling like Jolly Ranchers, putting them in a double cup, starts pouring Sprite in there. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
That sounds ridiculous. I'm going to have to watch that after this.
Yeah, that is pretty ridiculous, but like it's all publicity stunt. He's trying to be relevant, trying to milk it. Yeah, milk out whatever he can
How
with
much
what he's
money did
got
he
left.
win on the Astros? He
How
put
much did
a
he lose?
well, he's
I
lost a
don't.
lot, but he put a lot of money on the Astros when they won.
Yeah, I would have to think that he's definitely down with the public bets he's given out. It's got to be bankrolled by someone. You know what I mean?
I
Well,
mean, it's a lot of money, but yeah, maybe
he
could
won
definitely be
43 mil when the Astros won the World Series.
pissed away a lot of it, or a lot more
Oh,
than it.
75 mil. Never mind. He would have won 43 mil if they would have won last year. He won 75 when they won in 2022.
Wow.
So I think he's
Well,
okay.
good
I think
for
he's
him.
doing all right.
Good for him, dude. Keep sipping up that lean. I'll jump on my Michael of the week as Brian introduced it. I didn't really know what to come up with here because, again, new segment kind of got thrown on me, thinking on the fly. So there was some kind of like NFLPA guy. I think his last name was Hal. Um, Came out with the study that said 92% of players want grass fields over turf. So what I'm confused about is who the hell is the 8% that prefer the turf? 8% is a pretty big number.
Yeah.
I thought across the board, 99%, 100%, they did not like this shit. Who's the 8% that prefers the turf? Is it running backs? Are running backs getting better grip? Is it the quarterbacks? Like who prefers that? Who would prefer the turf over the grass? 8% in my mind seems like a big number. That's why, to what you said, the Michael confusing surprise thing of the week, kind of surprised or confused who that 8% is.
It's got to be the specialist, right? Because it's
Like
like always
special
an
team.
easy place to hold the ball. And like they're not dealing with the beads in their socks from getting tackled and all the turf burn. So I feel like it's got to be them, right?
Yeah, but that's what I was thinking. But do they make up 8% of the league?
No, and the other thing
Yeah.
is, Brian, it's the 92% of the players prefer the grass.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
So, I mean, the specialists do get the turf burn and
Well, they don't get
do get,
tackled.
I guess. I don't know. Either way, who is the 8% that prefers the turf over the grass? I thought it was across the board, 99%. These guys like the grass over the turf.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is
that that
wild.
is, that is an interesting question.
Oh, also
Seems
going back to kind of circling this with the World Cup, I'm seeing so many memes from like random people that are like, why would they play in MetLife because of the turf? They're gonna put grass in it. That when there's soccer there, they put grass in it. So enough of that take. You're not funny. It's not original. You're wrong.
seems like you took that pretty personal, Brian.
It's-
What do you mean they wheel grass in there?
They
When
put
does that
grass
happen? Or are you
yeah, when they play soccer, FIFA doesn't allow turf, so they put grass in it.
and so it's kind of like again we'll loop this back to Phoenix, how they do where they roll the grass in and roll it out because Phoenix indoors dome, but it's real grass.
Yeah, I mean,
How
I
do they get
assume
it
it's
out
like
there?
that.
There's no underground. I guess they just roll it out,
Yeah, I
like
don't know
roll it out.
the agricultural logistics of it, but I know they put
Yeah,
grass in there. FIFA's
yeah,
not going to let
that's
them play on turf.
hell no, especially for the final. But yeah, I guess that's the Michael segment of the week. Let us know what you thought, and let us know something that might have surprised you in sports this week. We'll roll into some more NFL talk, and again, we'll dominate the big game on the Friday show that gets released Saturday. Record Friday, release Saturday. Everyone to say it, but we did have some news during the week, and I guess it could have fit into the Michael as well because the Eagles are playing in Brazil to start the season. I don't know why the Eagles got picked for that, and it is a home game. You're
Yeah,
taking a home game away from the link. Probably could have won the Michael Award right there in itself, but wanted to save it for this segment because I really don't understand it at all. I mean, I guess it's cool, but you're not going to get the real. I know the Eagle. It's like they have the thing Eagles everywhere, and Eagles fans really are everywhere. They do have a huge fan base. They travel well. They travel for their team. The local Philly guys do fans of Philly, which travels to games every year. So I'm sure they'll have a huge fans of Philly travel party that has the pregame tailgate. You know, you can get hotel rooms with other fans. Like it's a whole thing. So I'm sure they'll have some massive things set up for that. But Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Eagles, at least in the NFL's eyes, should be one of those franchises that is the real moneymaker. Um, I guess based on that is why they would send them internationally because they are very, very popular. Whether you like Philly or hate Philly, the Eagles are extremely popular across the league for good and bad reasons. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting concept. They're playing in, the Brazilian soccer league isn't that big. So playing in that stadium down there is also seems like it's a bit smaller, but I could be wrong on that. But it seems like the stadium's not quite as big as what you might get up here. I don't know. I just don't understand. Like I love Eagles home openers, and this is bullshit. So screw you, Roger Goodell, or
Yeah,
whoever came up with this. It got signed off by Goodell, so f you, man.
I was gonna say, welcome to it, man. My Jags have had a home game out in London for the past decade, so nothing new over here. Poverty franchise, as you guys like to call it, but yeah, we're out there in London every single year, using up one of our home games out there. Last year we were out there for 2 straight weeks. Thankfully, only one of them was a home game, but still, I mean, it's just annoying that it's got to be your team. I get it, but I mean, don't forget, dude, Jalen Hurts, he's Brazilian, so it makes sense that they're going there.
yeah, it's tough. It's
I
definitely tough when you're
guess.
losing a home game. I will say there's a little bit of saving grace that it's only a 2 hour difference in time. So it's not like you gotta
Yeah.
wake up early for the London game. You'll still have time to tailgate and drink, I guess, if you want to watch them
Yeah, I
play
mean
in
it is a
Brazil.
Friday night game. So the Black Friday football that they had this year, I guess, is here to stay. Obviously not Black Friday, but Friday night football is here to stay. Is it going to be Amazon Prime exclusive?
I would think it is.
It might be.
Maybe,
But
maybe.
we'll
That
see. We'll
that's
see what next football season brings. But I would think
yeah.
a Friday night game is going to be
I mean that
Amazon's.
I'll tell you this, that first weekend of the NFL season, we're gonna get the Thursday game, the Birds on Friday, and then college football, the first like good week, and then a full slate on Sunday, and then the Monday night football game. It's gonna be a lot of football.
It's going to be a lot of football, and
I'm so
usually
excited.
at that time of year when we have the long summer and baseball is great, but I do understand. I'm a huge baseball guy. Brian's a huge baseball guy. Jack, I know you enjoy baseball. I don't know if you're like baseball nerds like Brian and I are,
I'm a nerd
but
about the game, not the players.
right. But when you're in that long baseball season, I get it. It's not for everyone, and you're just itching for football. So that first weekend, is really gonna have everybody fired up. So I get it. It's kind of cool, but either way, Birds in Brazil, man, do better. Since it's a longer season, do they get like an extra home game because of the
No,
longer season? No, no, okay.
nope.
They're not. They don't even
You're
dial
just
that
you're
up.
losing a home game. You gotta
It's
get
such.
the 1 seed to get that extra home game back.
Real quick before we move on, prediction: who do they play? Divisional opponent like the Cowboys? Do they play like an AFC team, or who do they play? Real quick, round the horn. Who do they play?
If the 49ers lose this weekend, they'll play the 49ers.
I
If
was gonna say, I was gonna say it's gonna be a good NFC team,
Yeah, if the
but I
49ers
don't.
win, I
I
think
don't
it'll
think
be
it's
the
gonna
Lions.
Yeah, that see, Brian's got the same thought I do. NFC, good team, out of division.
Really? So you don't see it being like a Bills Eagles opening night game?
The Bills are going to play the winner of the Super Bowl in the opening night.
Well, I mean, they just did. They just did.
Hey, look, we
They
got this. We got this. We'll go back next year. We'll clip this.
last year's opening game was Lions Chiefs, which is AFC NFC. So I don't think they will keep it exclusively to that. But I know a lot of people
Yeah,
are
they
saying
switch it up.
Cowboys. I don't see them doing a Cowboys Eagles game in Brazil.
No,
I mean, that's just too big of a
they
game.
can't. Yeah, they can't do
That's
that.
just too big of a game, too big for the fan bases, too much money in America to be made than to send that, down to Brazil. But I don't know. I could see the Niners. I think the Niners pick is pretty fair and accurate. And then that'll, because the Eagles I don't think will suck next year. I do think they'll still be decent. So that'll just spark up whoever wins that game. There'll be some banter back and forth all year.
I could see
Um,
Tampa down there too.
Tampa, like a Bucks Eagles.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, are they going to make it like a crazy like Eagles Niners, Chiefs Niners, Bills Niners, like
Well,
lines, or is it going to be like they're going to send like the
it's
Texans
gonna be a
down
big
there,
time matchup.
Second game
or
of the
it's going to
season.
be like Cardinals Eagles. What are they going to do?
I
No,
think you
I'm
can lock in the Niners or the Lions, depending
Niners,
on
Lions,
if the Niners win the Super Bowl.
Bucks. Yeah.
Interesting. Well,
You could sell me on the LA Rams. I mean, tough flight for them, which
Yeah,
is really Bucks a little bit more, but you could sell me on the LA Rams as well.
yeah, there's a lot of interesting ways they could go with it. It is interesting that they said the Eagles will play there, but didn't release the team they're going to play. So just to spark up more
no, they got
confusion, debate, all that shit.
Roger probably convinced the Eagles, and now he's got to work on convincing another franchise to play him.
Honestly, that could definitely be the case. Probably not, but funny conspiracy there. Let's jump on to some more NFL news, though. Right before the big game, Patrick Mahomes' father with his third DUI. I mean, somebody's got to get this guy off the road.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
this. So a couple years ago, a Mets fan came out with like the 64 worst things to happen to Mets players, and it was a pretty hilarious bracket. I think this might make the list for that bracket. Former Mets player Patty Mahomes Sr. getting his third DUI, could face 10 years in prison like 3 days before his son plays in the Super Bowl.
I love how
Did he-
somehow you made this about the Mets. For
Hey,
for
man.
for
Now
no
you know.
reason made this about
Now
the
you,
Mets.
This is
now you
it-
know how I feel with
it's-
when Auburn comes up every other sentence.
up 14.5, by the way. But
Where do you go?
as soon as I saw this headline, I immediately thought of like just how Mets players just are always in the news for bad situations. I didn't even go to the Chiefs. I just immediately went to the Mets.
Yeah, the Mets do have just always in the headlines for not the best reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, what he had a 16-ounce of Coors in the car, had a few beers, and was right behind the wheel. And he'll be right at the Super Bowl on Sunday. I mean, I'm sure he posted bail or got out, and he's good to go. So
he might be facing
hope
10 years after that, though.
Yeah, I mean, look, is he gonna do like the full sentence? Probably not. I mean, his son is Patrick Mahomes, who can pull a lot of weight. But look, I mean, this dude, Patrick Mahomes, I mean, he's shout out to him, dude. I mean, honestly, you can love him, you can hate him, but he's got a fucked up family, and through that adversity, he's still getting it done on the football field. His brother and his wife, they sort of chilled out this year, which is good for all of us. But now he's got to deal with his dad. And my gosh, dude, just let this man catch a break and play some football, right?
Yeah.
it's truly remarkable, dude. The guy's been lights out, and his family is a disaster. So
Good way to
it's
put it.
unbelievable. It's
He must have
unbelievable.
made a deal with the devil, brother.
He had to have. But he's going for the third Super Bowl. What, 6 years in the NFC Championship
Yes,
game?
6 years.
Unfazed is what you call that. Unfazed. But yeah, let's roll on here. Brian, why don't you talk about this? Because this seems like something that'd be right up your alley. The
Yeah.
celebrity flag football game. That could be a Michael of the week. 26 been around for 26 years.
Yeah, I had no idea. Apparently, it's been a thing for 26 years that there's just a celebrity flag football game, like the celebrity softball or NBA All-Star game. It's there every year on Super Bowl week, but this year it's Team Tracy McGrady versus Team RG3. And let me list some of these A-listers playing in this game for you. So we got TikTok star Josh Richards, who's on the BFFs podcast with Dave Portnoy. Sydney Colson, who won a Olympic 3v3 women's basketball medal with Kelsey Plum. Brian Baumgartner, Brian from The Office. DJ Pauly D, former quarterback Doug Flutie. No Hands Chorus, Roscoe Dash. And Rob Riggle, the comedian. And here's the kicker. There's someone I didn't put on here. Alexander Madison is playing in this game.
Wait,
That doesn't make what?
Alexander Madison is playing in the celebrity flag football game.
Yep.
He's a real football player.
He plays in the NFL.
Can you imagine Brian from The Office trying to trying to pull Alexander Madison's flag.
It's just not going to happen. Brian's going to get hurt.
I mean, I know that he lost carries to like Ty Chandler this year, but is he really trying to make him up in this celebrity flag football game?
I didn't
It looks
look.
like it,
Maybe
dude.
he's from Vegas or something, but it was wild when I saw that.
All right, I
But I
got nothing
do
to say
see.
about that. Let's move on from the flag football
Well,
game.
yeah, I see it's on at 10 p.m. on Thursday, which is good. That means I won't be fucking watching it. So good timing there.
You don't want to see
Um,
Tracy McGrady score some touchdowns.
no, I'm good on that. Definitely don't need to see Josh Richards doing TikTok dances after scoring a touchdown. Yeah, Doug Flutie, like that dude, he's gonna get hurt or potentially die. That could be a serious situation. That guy's got to be 70 years old or
Yeah,
older.
he'll be taking his testosterone pills. What are they called? The Nugenics. Him and Frank Thomas.
Yeah, him and Frank Thomas, dude, are fucking roid raging every day. All right,
Been on it
yeah,
the past 30
and Rob Riggle, dude, what's up with that guy? I haven't seen him since like 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, he makes a cameo on the Fox NFL Sunday every now and again. Does like a 2-minute
Now,
skit.
does he? Good for him. Clearly, it's
Yeah.
really popular since nobody really sees it. All right, moving on. Commanders hire Kingsbury and some more normal news here. Is it that normal though? Like, where the hell did Cliff Kingsbury come from? I thought this guy was fucking off in his vacation with his hot ass wife.
I guess he was, but now he's back. And I mean, Dan
Well, wait,
Quinn
was
can't
he?
coach an offense. So
No, he can't. So if there's, I mean, I guess it was a guy who had a pretty prolific offense out in Arizona, at least for a few years there, and then things just kind of fell apart. I think his relationship with Kyler Murray kind of was what rubbed that whole thing the wrong, downtrend way. Other than him just like being a good head coach, but he did have some solid seasons. You got to give him that. I just know it kind of blew up at the end there for him. And then did he? You say reunion with Caleb Williams, so maybe do the Commanders somehow able to draft him as number one and number two? But either way, Caleb Williams fouled Lincoln Riley out there. Cliff Kingsbury was able to put his fingertips on that whole situation, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I guess best of luck in Washington with, for now, who Brian and Jack call elite, Sam Howell. I don't know.
they're gonna draft a quarterback. And
They're
they might
gonna-
draft
Are they?
Caleb Williams. Like, what if the Bears hold on to Justin Fields and the Commanders get Caleb Williams and he gets
Well, where are the
reunited
Commanders picking?
too?
Oh, I didn't know they have the second pick.
Yeah.
I don't expect the Bears to stick with Fields. But if they do, this is definitely a possibility. I think, the only thing I really want to touch on here is good for the Commanders organization. I think that Cliff, as the OC, could actually do something pretty well now that he's just an offensive coordinator. Doesn't have to run the whole show. You got Dan Quinn to do that, who's a great coach and a great defensive mind. So I think with him on the defensive front, Cliff on the offense, I think that the Commanders are starting to go in the right direction, and maybe they can break that longest drought of NFC title games that we just talked about the other day.
Well,
Yeah, man. Like,
just a
what
quick
do you got, Brad?
hypothetical here. If they do get Caleb Williams and he gets reunited with Cliff, just gonna run you down the schedule real quick. Let's see how many games they win. This is saying they get Caleb Williams.
All right, quick.
Week 1 at Baltimore.
Lose.
Loss.
Week 2 at Dallas.
Loss.
L.
Week 3 at NOLA.
Loss.
Week 4 at Giants. You're gonna say win.
That's probably a win.
I think they can win, but the Giants Commanders games over the last few years have been just fucking turn your TV off. That's how bad they've been.
All right,
Yeah.
so we'll say 0-4 then. At Eagles.
Loss.
At Tampa.
Loss.
Can see them maybe do some there. I'll go win just so we're not fucking saying loss every time. I'll say
right.
they'll beat the Bucks because Baker Mayfield will fall off the cliff.
So they're at 1-5. At home versus Dallas.
Loss.
At home versus the Giants. Well, let's say they split with the Giants.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
So 2-6. At home
The
versus
Giants are going to be no whirlwind next year.
at home versus Philly.
L.
Give them a loss. Come on.
All right, 2-7. At home versus Atlanta. That's got to be a win, right?
I could see him win that. Yeah.
Oh, I could see Atlanta being a pretty decent team next year, depending on who they get at quarterback. I mean, we have to think that they're going to invest over there as well, right?
Yeah. I'm giving them the
Possibly.
win. I'm giving them the
I'm
win.
giving him the win just
All
for
right,
the
give him
sake
the
of
win.
this
3 and
fucking
7
bullshit.
at home versus the Panthers.
Win.
4 and 7 at home versus the Browns.
Loss.
4 and 8 at home versus Pittsburgh.
Loss.
Keep in mind
Loss.
Arthur Smith is the OC for Pittsburgh.
Still a loss.
All right.
Because Mike Tomlin's still the head coach.
4 and 9 at Cincinnati with Burrow.
Loss.
4 and 10 at Arizona.
Loss.
I'll say they'll win that one.
At Arizona, loss. Cross country, Kyler, no.
At home versus Chicago.
Towards the end of the season, at home against Chicago,
Yeah.
fucking drama game because of should they have kept the number 1 pick bullshit. Maybe they get a win. Late in the season,
Absolute drama game right there.
late in the season, Caleb's a little bit more developed. They get a win.
All right, so we'll say they're at 5 wins, and then at home versus Tennessee to end it.
No more weird Mike Vrabel
You
juju.
get 5-6 wins, Brian. That's what I'm giving you.
All right, we're
No
giving
more
Caleb-
Mike Vrabel.
And that's a
Williams
lot
6
for me.
wins.
That's a lot for me. I don't know if they get.
Yeah, we're
next year.
sorry, Commanders fans. You're not making the playoffs next year.
There's just a lot more. I know the quarterback's huge, but like, dude, that defense needs like major fucking work.
They traded
Yeah.
away their two.
And they gave away
I'm not gonna call
Montez Sweat and Chase Young. So like they have to rebuild that now.
Yep.
There's a lot more than-
Chase Young's terrible. It was a good
I
trade
agree.
to get him off.
But Montez Sweat was one of the best pass rushers in the
Montez
league.
Sweat's really good. Yeah.
He went to the Bears, and the Bears defense was like immediately fucking elite.
The Bears ended the season really well. Like they're good.
I know. Big Cat was trying to give it to Eberflus on correcting the defense, but that was like Montez Sweat.
Yeah, it was a lot of Montez Sweat.
I mean, him coming in there just like completely changed that D line. It allowed other guys who aren't as good be good because less attention were on them. And Sweat's just so good that he could blow up double teams and just be a fucking beast. I love Montez Sweat. I think he's an awesome player, and hope he does well. I love him. I love his name ever since he came in. He was he a Mississippi State guy?
That actually.
There's a little trivia for you.
They Mississippi State or A&M. That color is.
I was thinking Clemson.
No, definitely not Clemson. I think no way Clemson. My guess is Mississippi State. Boom.
Yeah.
There you go. Look at that poll, dude. Yeah, loved watching him when he came into the league. Just always thought he was a beast. But gonna be interesting either way. The Commanders, I hate the Giants. I hate the Cowboys. Commanders, I just don't care. I just don't really care. They haven't been good. They suck. Even when RG3 won that one division title and they made the playoffs, like I was rooting for him. I didn't care. I don't care. Like the Giants made the playoffs, rooting against them. Cowboys, rooting against them. Commanders, like I'll root for RG3 in a wild card against the Seahawks. I hate the Seahawks more than I hate the Commanders. And that's saying something for an interdivision matchup. That's how bad the Commanders have been. And the Giants will always be on the hate list just because all my friends or a lot of my friends are Giant fans. But the Giants are approaching who the hell cares because they're so bad level. I know they have their 2 Super Bowls they cling on to earlier in the decade and the century, but
You can't say earlier.
Fucking fraudulent.
You can't say earlier in the century when we're not even a quarter of the way through the century yet.
Am I wrong or am I correct by saying that?
I mean, it was
Brian's
like 12 years ago.
Am I wrong or am I correct? Anyway, let's get into the NBA. We'll save football talk about irrelevant teams for when football season rolls back around and we can get jacked up on that. But the NBA, Brian, I'll let you get into it because you're our NBA insider here, views from Section 400. What's everybody missed? How are our Thunder doing, man?
Yeah, our Thunder are tied for first. The Clippers actually are in first place. Game ahead in the loss column over the Thunder, but James Harden will find a way to implode that team eventually. But yeah, right now it's kind of just waiting out until we get to the All-Star game. The Cleveland Cavaliers, I know Jack loves the Cavs, loves Isaac Okoro, as do I. I think, Jack, you said he's going to win DPOY, which could be interesting. But yeah, the Cavs have won 14 out of 15, so they're in second place in the East right now, which would make you think that their coach, JB Bickerstaff, would be the head coach of the All-Star game since Joe Mazzulla is not allowed. But it's going to be Doc Rivers because the cutoff for the record was February 4th. Jack, I know you are not happy about that.
Just doesn't make any sense. Doc Rivers has coached 3, 4, 5 games this NBA season, and now he gets to coach the All-Star game. It doesn't make any sense to me. He's the new guy that he should just be excluded, right, from the entire list. But if you want to think about it logically, you're not going to give it to the Celtics coach Mazzulla. Oh, there's some rule that says you can't do it. You can't coach the All-Star game 2 years in a row.
Which
That's
is stupid.
dumb.
Yeah.
So dumb. You're going to let a guy who's coached 5 games this year coach the All-Star game. And then, again, you would think that it'd be Blicky if you're not going to let Mazzulla coach because the Cavs are number 2 in the East. But no, not going to get Blicky out there either. We're going to give it, again, Doc Rivers. What has Doc Rivers ever done, man? I mean, look, I understand that he's coached all these superstars over the years, but, when's the last time he won a title? I mean, he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything with the Clippers team. Did he ever win a title? I mean, he did nothing with the Clippers. He did nothing with the.
Are you guys serious right now?
He went with the Celtics. With the Celtics.
When?
Yeah, dude.
2008.
Anything is possible.
Dude, the fucking KG, the first super team ever with KG, Paul Pierce, Rondo, Ray Allen.
And the team that created super teams, created today's NBA.
You mean that's the last time he did something with his coaching career and won an NBA title? I mean,
yep.
What are we talking about here? He's gotten the kings of the kingdom on so many incredible teams with Kawhi and Paul George, and the superstars go on and on. I can't even name them all, but I just don't understand why he's getting another shot. And on top of that,
he's a fraud.
On top of that, he's coaching this All-Star game. I mean, he did nothing with your process, Colin. I mean, it was just
he
set him back.
Those Lob City teams were really. The fact he couldn't get out of the second round was just
Chris Paul, DeAndre Jordan. Those two were jumping through the roof like it was nobody's business with the best point guard at the time, giving them lobs left and right, which was pretty much an unstoppable play, and they still couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, but this is on the NBA. As much as Doc Rivers is a fraud, every other sport, whoever made the finals last year, those are your 2 All-Star game coaches. Why does the NBA do it for this season, and why are you not allowed to if you coached the previous year? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb. And those 4 games that he's coached, or 5 games that he's coached so far,
he's won.
He only won 1 of them.
Yeah, he's 1 and 4.
So they've been pretty bad.
But before we do move on, I will say he has said he will give his bonus check and game check to Adrian Griffin. So he's not taking any of the money he gets for coaching the game.
Who's he giving it to?
The old Bucks coach, Adrian Griffin.
Oh, he is tossing over him. All right. What is it? You get what do you get for that? Do you know what the dollar amount is?
Probably like a $500K bonus.
That's a pretty sizable. That's a pretty sizable chunk of change, if it is that much. But
not to Doc Rivers, he's stolen millions from all these teams, bro.
All-Star game isn't this weekend, but it's next weekend. So Wemby and Paulo Banchero, I'm guessing that is, are teaming up in the skills challenge. Is that how they do it now, or these guys just team up? I know they used to kind of make the teams for you. Now these guys can just team up.
Well, yeah, they always do the home team. So the Pacers will probably have a team. And then the last couple of years, Giannis and his brothers have been doing it. But yeah, I guess these 3, they're I think last 3 number 1 picks, right? Ant was 21, Paulo was 22, and Wemby last year. So yeah, team number 1 pick, and then the Pacers will probably do a team, and then maybe Giannis will do a team. But I don't know with all that drama with him and his brothers right now. So
they've lost this weekend has lost so much juice and value, dude. I remember he used to always being oh my gosh, a dunk contest, this is sick. Now it's just nonsense. I get it. Mac McClung kind of brought it back a little bit last year just because it was something different, but dude, they used to do it with core stars, who were out there doing crazy dunks, and now it's dude, Mac McClung plays in the fucking D League or G League, whatever you want to call it. I get it, dude. I'm not ripping on McClung, but it's dude, come on, you might as well go get a freakishly athletic athlete who plays a different sport and have him come in and do a dunk contest.
That'd be more entertaining if you had Odell out there trying to dunk.
All right, like something different. I don't know, man. I mean, it's like, all right, cool, I guess, but like have them Harlem Globetrotters come in and do the dunk contest. It'd probably be more entertaining.
Hey, your guy Jaime Jaquez is reportedly going to join the dunk contest.
Yeah,
Did,
I mean, he's like, is he even an athletic big? Like he seems a little clunky.
apparently he has hops, but I think it was like a mid-range slasher, not really a
Yeah,
dunker.
Yeah,
like
he's probably going to put some slams on it, a nice hard touch on his dunks. I think that's what's going to, if he wants a shot to win it, that's what's going to get him over the edge on a couple.
yeah, that the people in the contest, it doesn't really move the needle for me, man. The last, like, I mean, I get it. McClung did decent, brought some eyes last year. The last decent one was what, Levine and Aaron Gordon.
Yeah,
I guess that was like, what was that, a couple years in a row they did
it's
that.
the
So
16 and 17.
that was like cool. But other than that, this weekend, and now they do the target score, and you got to get to this number to win, and nobody's
Yeah,
trying until the last like 3 points of the game, and it's nonsense.
I will
But
say
I
if
get it.
Jaylen Brown dunks with his left hand, he deserves to win.
Why?
He just can't dribble with it. He can't use his left hand.
All right. Well, we'll see if he's able to pull that off.
Petty.
It's not petty.
I
I'm
think
just stating a fact.
I think that's a pretty cool nugget too. CJ Stroud and Parsons confirmed for the celebrity game.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's a
much
little
just
better.
them and like D-list actors and then a couple WNBA players. But Aja Wilson is coaching, which kind of makes it a little bit of a slap in the face to the WNBA players that are playing. Because I don't know. I guess she's the league MVP and like the best player, but
No, that's definitely a little slap in the face. I'll give you
but
that.
she's the peer of like these guys and she's coaching. It's not
Yeah.
like you have
You still have like Team LeBron and Team Steph in the
yeah, but they're
All-Star
team
game.
captains. They're playing with them. It's not like you have like LeBron and Steph coaching the Rising Stars. It'd be like that. Like, it just and it's a fun event, but it feels a little weird. I don't know.
I understand the comparison. I don't know if I'm there with you, but I understand what you're saying.
I
That's
just
fair.
saw that and
Yeah,
it's a little weird.
it's who cares? Are you going to be tuned in to the Celebrity All-Star game? No.
No, as soon as that
Oh, I'm gonna be watching CJ Stroud and praying that he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah,
yeah, that's
I'll
really
say
all you
that.
got.
Seeing CJ Stroud in this
He
celebrity
says
game moves the needle a little more for me than it does the dunk contest. Yes, I'm ignoring Jack's fucking I'm praying he doesn't get hurt, but really hoping he gets hurt side eye.
yeah, for those of
Uh
you listening on Spotify and Apple, Jack, that wasn't very too sincere. I hope he doesn't get hurt.
yeah. And you call me a Philly scumbag. Let's keep
Come on, I'm just joking out here.
All right, let's roll on here. We got some NCAA basketball to get into. Big win for the Jayhawks as have dramatically dropped plus 1,500. We gave them out a plus 3,000 and they dropped to plus 1,500. So if you were able to tail when we had it going on and when we were giving it out, you got some great value because they look electric and they legitimately have a shot to win it all. Keep checking out our bracketology on Views from Section 400. Think, Brian, what are we, 4 weeks in of updating it?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, either 3 or 4, but we'll have
3 or 4 weeks.
left. Only 3 left before Selection Sunday.
We got 3 updates left before the final bracket is released.
I guess 4, because it'll be the 14th. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks until the week of
Until
before
they, yeah.
So 4 left.
Couple more updates to be released until they come out with the real deal. And that'll be fun to do. So definitely follow along. We'll be giving out a lot of juice for that. I'm sure we will have an official Views from Section 400 bracket that Brian, myself, and Jack all get involved on.
Oh, yeah.
And just
after Selection Sunday, we will be streaming and we'll be filling out the official Views from 400 bracket. So
yeah, we'll have an official
tuned for
bracket and then we'll have that posted on our socials and our website so you guys can kind of follow along, get some insight if you want that. So definitely check that out, viewsfromsection400.com. Go check it out. Let us know if you like where we have some of the teams. Let us know if there's a team that deserves to be in it that's not in it. We love to hear what you think. But yeah, other than that, NCAA been, I guess, a little idle A lot of the mid-major teams that look like they're going to win it all have been, staying the course, and they're trending towards those teams are going to have the best shot to win it all. Championship week's crazy, so nothing's guaranteed. But just that's kind of how it's trending. I guess when you watch this, the game will be said and done. Do we have an Auburn, Alabama update? I know they were up like 15 last time we checked.
Auburn's up 15, 14 minutes to go in the second half. So it's looking good. This line was disrespectful at 5.5. Auburn's the better team, especially when Alabama has to go on the road.
Yeah, and like I said, I think I texted you guys earlier when I was, doing my research, getting involved with my underground sources. My few contacts were 4 for 4 across the board, had Auburn minus 5.5 as an absolute lock. No questions asked.
It was also my play of the day as well, as we try to end a 2-game losing streak. So that's looking pretty good.
It's more of Alabama on the road is why I would love that.
Yeah, they just can't make threes on the road.
Yeah, they're just not that team. And I know Nova was playing tonight against Xavier, but they don't deserve to be talked about. So we'll leave it at that.
We've talked about Alabama's struggles on the road, but let's not forget to mention Auburn at home.
Yeah, that's true.
I've been saying it all year. Absolute freaking wagon on at home in the jungle. So keep riding their spread at home in the jungle, week in, week out.
And I really don't want to ask this because I'm sure this will like brew up a 45-minute discussion, but like I know Auburn football is huge, but what are your guys' memories from like going to Auburn basketball games? Like, did you guys go and get rowdy, or was it not really? Like? Because I know Auburn hasn't been like relevant forever. Like they've had some really bad stretches of not being good.
It's been a while.
It was Brian. What was it? Our junior year when they went into the Final Four.
Yeah, our sophomore year they made it to the second round of the tournament though, and they went like 29-6. So our sophomore year was really when it started picking up.
So freshman year they weren't good.
Freshman year they were terrible. I would go to games and sit front row next to Abby and get on ESPN like every time.
That's what I was gonna say. Is freshman and sophomore year you were able to go to the game as a student, wait in the line if there was one. Never more than like an hour, and you'd be able to get right into the jungle. Now, or ever since junior year, and if you try to get there now, you have to go legitimately like 24 hours in advance. For a big game like this, there were people outside the stadium
28 hours.
That's insane.
Yeah. No, Auburn's definitely like Neville Arena's small, but in terms of like atmospheres of college basketball, we're not biased when we say it's like one of the best right now. Because it's so small that like they pack it out and it just gets insane in there.
Well, that's what they do for Cameron Indoor for Duke. Like you see people fucking pitching tents outside the stadium essentially a day before. So some good stuff there. Props to Auburn for creating a nice little college basketball utopia.
It's really props to Bruce Pearl. Bruce Pearl has just completely turned that program around.
Revamped the program. So props to that. Again, NCAA has just been pretty idle along here. I do want to send a shout out to South Florida. Chris Youngblood from Kennesaw State last year transferred into South Florida. A lot of those guys from that Kennesaw State team who should have beat Xavier last year. Anyone remembers that game? Kennesaw was a 14 seed, played Xavier, and they choked it out at the end.
Yeah, the Xavier big man blocked that layup at the end.
Yep, and but either way, Kennesaw had a lead late, and they kind of fumbled it up. But that Kennesaw coach went to USF as well. So the South Florida coach is that old Kennesaw guy. He brought a bunch of players, with the best one being Chris Youngblood, which is a crazy name in itself. But yeah, they were down 20 at home to Charlotte last night, and they came all the way back and won, which was a crazy game because I had USF minus 120 and was pretty rattled at halftime. But it was an unbelievable storm back to not only erase the 18 or 20 point deficit, but win the game. I know, Jack, we love FAU, but USF is right there in the American. They're actually atop of the American, at least entering today, at 9-1 in the conference. And I'm pretty sure they're on like a 9-game win streak as well. FAU's there. Charlotte's good, but the American Could be a sneaky conference come March. So let's keep our eyes on that. All right. Super Bowl prop bets. We got what? The Nickelodeon broadcast. Brian, are you all in on that?
So it kind of looks better than the CBS broadcast. So not
What?
only are they gonna start off the game with the rendition of Sweet Victory, but then we're gonna get Noah Eagle, so Ian Eagle's son, Nate Burleson, SpongeBob and Patrick as reporters, and then Sandy Cheeks as a sideline reporter. And I don't know about you guys, but that sounds better to me than Tony Romo just babbling nonsense for the whole game.
Yeah, but I like Jim Nance, dude.
Yeah, Jim Nance that's true, but I don't know. I'm kind of in on this Nick broadcast. I like Nate Burleson. He's been good. Noah Eagle, he's not as good as his dad, but I don't know.
You had me with the song in the beginning. What is the song? Sweet
Oh,
Victory?
yeah, Nick will definitely be on for the opener of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you got me with that. Other than that, I think I need to just hear my classic Jim Nance on a big stage calling it. And because that's just, hearing Jim Nance on that, which I know obviously it rotates every year, but then we just roll right into, golf season. Masters is right around the corner, and I get my classic "Hello, friends,
Yep.
and welcome to Augusta." It's more
Yep.
soft tone than that, but I love it, dude. I love it. I can't wait for golf season. We'll dial that up for all you golf fanatics out there as
Yep.
well. The season's already started if you're really into it, but I know when the Masters hits, that's really kind of the start of when people get dialed in. But yeah, what do we got? What do we got, Brian? Keep us rolling through here, dude.
Yeah, so we're gonna be doing a bunch of these little prop bets, and we're gonna release them as reels/TikToks every day leading up to the Super Bowl. So if you have made it this far in the broadcast, good on you. If not, you'll see them on our social medias. But the first one, we got over under for the anthem. Right now it's set at 90.5. It does fluctuate a lot leading to kickoff. So I'm sorry if the number's different when you're listening to this. But we got Reba, country music singer. Her longest anthem ever that's been recorded and posted on YouTube was 84 seconds. So much shorter, that would lean under than the 90.5 number, but it's a Super Bowl. So I'll go to you, Jack. What are you thinking?
Give me the over. Come on, Reba.
Any analysis or just hoping?
Dude, Reba's a queen. She's gonna take her time with the Super Bowl anthem. I mean, you only do that once, right? So she's gonna take her time, just like Stapleton did. Country singers tend to hit the over. I'm gonna play this one smart here. I'm taking the over.
Matt, you agreed?
Yeah, I got the over. I think the 84 seconds is something that's going to throw people off and get them to sucker bet the under. Country singer, Super Bowl. We saw last year with Stapleton. He went like way over. That was like a with ease over.
That was easy.
Yeah, that was like an ease. That one hit with ease. But yeah, give me the over.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing. So 2 of our drinking game specials. One of them is drink for the length of Brave. And the other one is if Reba comes out with a guitar, drink 5. So if both of those do well, this is probably going over, and I'm kind of hoping both do well. So I'll taking the over just off of that. But right after the anthem, we have the coin toss. So heads is actually leading the all-time series, 30-27 over tails. Last 10 has been tails 7-3, but that's kind of skewed because tails went on a 4-game win streak. I love how I'm talking about them like they're actual teams. But they're 3-3 in the last 6. So, Matt, I'll start with you this time. Heads or tails?
Thought about this the other day, and the first thing that came to my mind was tails. Sticking with the gut on it, going tails.
I'm just like Matt. I was thinking about this. It kept me up last night. I'm also going tails.
All right, I guess I'll zag while you guys zig. I'll go heads. I mean, 30-27. If Auburn's a wagon, heads is a wagon. So I'll take heads here.
I wouldn't call 30-27 a wagon.
Yeah,
don't relax with that.
Don't be comparing 30-27 to Auburn at home. It's just not comparable.
Yeah, and even 30-27 is not a wagon.
Yeah, 30-27, despite them going on a little losing streak. So they're still
40-17. I'd say, all right, you're on to something there.
Yeah, but what are we like? 10-0 at home?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, don't compare.
All right, I won't compare heads on a coin to Auburn ever again.
Auburn at home.
But the next one, so we got a couple here for the halftime show. I'm interested to hear what you guys think the first song will be, and then we'll go to the over/under 8.5 songs on the actual show, and we'll finish with any cameos you think will show up. So we got our lines here on our notes. I won't go through them all, but Matt, I'll start with you again. First song, over/under 8.5 songs, and will there be any cameos, and if so, who?
I will go with, I guess the most popular is Yeah. I think plus 350 is good value. So I'll play that. Yeah, I don't know how it would be the other two, but yeah, I'll go Yeah. I don't really know on this one. This like literally could be anything. So that's why this one's a little dicier. But the 8.5 line, I think maybe with like a rock singer or somebody who has like more like I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm trying to pull or what angle I'm trying to take. On a rock or country guy or girl, I'd say over Usher. I mean, there's only 4 or 5 songs in what could be the first song. I'm gonna go the under. I think we see 6 or 7 songs.
Any
Oh, and
cameos?
if I see a camo, no cameo. For me.
All right.
Yeah.
No
Nah,
Lil
none.
Jon showing up?
Nah. Maybe. I could see Lil Jon.
It is the cameos are really juiced, so there's not much value on betting on a cameo.
Yeah, there's no reason to do so.
Jack,
For
what
me,
are
at
you
least.
thinking?
Yeah, look, the first song is always a tough one for me. I wanted to go Yeah, but Colin went with it, so I don't know. Give me whatever he's got with Justin Bieber. Give me one of those songs.
It's
As
just,
far
dude,
as
it could be anything.
it
I
could
think
be
I got a
anything.
good read on it.
I think I'm going Bieber song. Those two hop up first and do their little fucking thing. So cameos, I'm thinking Bieber shows up, and I really like Luda. I think Ludacris is there. Something telling me Luda's showing up. Don't sleep on Luda. And
Yeah, I'd honestly lead Luda before I say Lil Jon, but again, like I said, I don't know on the cameos. It's so tough.
and then the last one is over under 8.5 songs. You know, you said this has gone over in the last 6 halftime shows. You
Yep.
know, traditionally, or I say traditionally, I would say maybe the past 6 years, I feel like they do a minute or two of their song, and then they're already switching it up to a whole new set. So, give me the over on it. Let me ride with history. Give me the
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, I forget what Rihanna's number was, but it was I think she did like 21 last year because she would just do like 2 lines of a song and then switch.
That's
But I
nuts.
Oh,
think
that
I have a good
counts.
read
I
on the
might be
first song
rattled.
here. I'm gonna go with DJ Got Us Falling in Love. I think the start of that where it's just like the that's like a good opener kind of after the ads play. So I like that as the first song, and then I'm gonna go with the under for the 8.5. Usher has a lot of these slow kind of medleys, and I think he's gonna take up like 3 or 4 minutes just going through one. And one of the things we have on our drinking game also is Usher does a lap dance that is not good for network television. So I'm hoping that hits as well, just so we can drink some beer and this under hits. And then for the cameos, Alicia Keys is going to show up, Lil Jon's going to show up, and will.i.am's going to show up.
Wow.
Damn.
It's a
Not
lot.
the people I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's a lot right there.
Yeah, I'm expecting a very entertaining halftime show here with one very
Okay.
slow song that makes this under hit. But yeah,
All right.
I mean, the last one that people can actually bet on, Gatorade Color. So we don't have to go through all the colors of the rainbow here. But Jack, I'll start with you. What's the Gatorade color going to be?
I'm going clear. I'm going water. I think it's gonna be some water. I'm thinking there's gonna be hella ice, and I'm thinking that they missed the coach.
Yeah, so when they bet these are strictly just when they dump it at the end.
Yep.
That's like all this line is.
Yeah.
Every year, right? Like that's all it's ever been.
Yep.
Did they ever do it where they like did the color of the Gatorade bottle, or was it only ever just the liquid itself?
It's the liquid
The
because they
liquid,
always use
yeah.
the big jugs.
Right. All right. So, wow. Another tough one. I'm gonna go with blue at plus 500. No rhyme or reason. Just give me blue. Seems
Don't
like
hate
a
that.
random one.
I'm going with purple just because it was purple last year.
There you go. There you go. And then we got, well, yeah, that's another great line right there. Over under 2.5 quarters until Brian's blacked out from the drinking game. I said this isn't for the faint-hearted, for the weak-minded, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be a rough game. I'm going to try and stay strong. I might already have to take off work the following day because of how just worried I am for this drinking game, but I will be participating and I will be following along as strictly as possible. I will not, I'm not going to miss a beat on it. So, yeah, 2.5 quarters. I want to say, Brian, you're a man and not a little girl. So I want to say you should be able to control yourself at least beyond halftime. I say start.
That's why I put it at 2.5.
Yeah, I'm saying start of the fourth quarter. You're getting toasted. So I guess
you're barely taking the over.
I'm barely taking the over.
2.5 would be like halfway through the third quarter.
Yeah, I'm taking like start of the fourth quarter. When they get back from that long commercial break to start the fourth quarter, that's when it's going to kick in.
After we see Dak.
After they rip Dak Prescott commercials 3 times in a row, that just sets you over the line. That's what I got.
I'm taking the under. I don't think Brian makes it there. I think he's going to strictly follow this game like the man he is. I think by halftime, he's going to be sitting on that couch ready to pass out. He's going to hold out until he sees that kickoff for the second half. And the first time they go to commercial break in the second half, he's done.
He's lights out.
Done. He'll wake up.
It'll be interesting.
Fourth quarter, 6 minutes left, but he's taking a long nap.
Yeah, I will say we're going to be making some good food on the Super Bowl, so that's going to be saving me a little bit. But during my last couple of months, lowering the calorie intake, I haven't been drinking as much, so the tolerance is a little low. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes on Sunday.
The food will help. The food will help for sure. But yeah, you can find it on our website if you're curious to see. I know we keep bringing up Dak Prescott, but I'm just so confident they're going to fucking throw him all over the screen on these Head & Shoulders commercials and maybe some other stuff too. But yeah, if you want to play, go download it. You can print it out, play along with us on Views from Section 400. You can, find it on our socials. I know Brian did a video on it as well. Just look up our shit. Views from section400.com, views from section 400, all over socials. You'll be able to find it, play along, print it out, send us some videos. Let me know if there's some stuff we missed or something we should add. Brian and, the rest of us, we got a lot of stuff on there. So there's not much room to add. It's going to be a tough game. You're not going to go into it saying you're going to squeeze your way out of, this might be snake by easily. No, you will be drinking and there will be a lot. But other than that, that's all I got. It's been Views from Section 400. I'm Matt, Jack, and Brian. We're along for the ride as well. We dialed it up, and now we dial it down. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
War damn Eagle.
Auburn's up 15, baby. Let's win it.